My Texans hot take, Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
This playoff run for the Houston Texans.
If you say C.J. Stroud's going to the Hall of Fame, I'm going to reach to this monitor and rip your wig off.
Is secretly a bad thing. Because at the end of it, someone is going to hire Bobby Slowick to be their head coach, and C.J. Stroud won't have continuity as an offensive coordinator next year.
Breach, you can grade the hot take, and then I'll follow up.
I'll give it a B+. I mean, we've seen, look what happened to the Eagles, and they lost both their coordinators. That losing your coordinator can be a big deal, especially when you have this rookie quarterback who has such great chemistry, and he always seems to be on the same page as Slowick, and having to start all over the new coordinator next year, I think that is a minor step back. So, like, in that sense, I'll agree with Prince, but I still think the Texans are going to be the class of the division. And if you're an smart offensive mind, you're going to want to coach in Houston because you see the talent they have.
Yeah. And just to be clear, like Breach and I, this is sort of a corollary of something that Breach and I talked about, where if you're hired, like we do these emergency pods. I don't know if you've seen them, Wilson, when guys get fired or guys get hired. The problem with hiring a defensive minded head coach is that if that coach does the thing you want him to do and hire a great offensive coordinator, you can't guarantee you can keep that offensive coordinator around. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like that's the catch-22 of it. So, and I just think, look, if Bobby Slowick gets a job as a head coach, like, you tip your cap. He's done a great job for you. He's made C.J. Stroud look incredible, and you can probably find somebody to come from that coaching tree. But I do think that's just at least a mild concern. But for right now, if you're the Texans, keep riding the wave.
Just as a hot take. Is it a hot take or is it a mild concern?
I think it's a hot take.
Okay.
I want to throw out a couple things real quick on C.J. Stroud. Tied the rookie record with 3 touchdown passes. That is the most, tied for the most in a playoff game
first half
NFL history by a rookie. And he did it all in the first half. Would have gotten more again if this had been a close game. He is the youngest quarterback in NFL history to ever win a playoff game, which I thought was surprising. And then he is also the first top 3 pick in NFL history to win a playoff game as a rookie. So part of that was, you figure the top 3 picks usually go to bad teams. So I understand that number would not be high, but I thought there had to be at least one other quarterback. There is not. CJ Stroud is the only top 3 pick to ever win a playoff game. And obviously rookie QB with first-time head coach. We're looking at the stat here on YouTube. Here we go. First time getting the divisional round since old Mark Sanchez and Rex Ryan, your boys, Brinson. And the last thing I'll throw out about CJ Stroud.
Toeing the line here, Breach.
Last thing I'll throw. What a foot joke. What a great job there. CJ Stroud, 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions against the number 1 defense in football during the regular season. That is only the 5th time that has happened in a playoff game in NFL history. The other 4 quarterbacks that did that went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's a fun fact. And Harry flashed the graphic for people who can't see and are listening to the podcast. I was going to throw this fun fact out, and Harry beat me to it. Brock Purdy, Mark Sanchez, and Joe Flacco are the only rookie quarterbacks to win 2 playoff games, at least 2. And CJ is halfway there. So, and I just want to follow up quickly to Brinson's hot take about Slowick. I don't disagree with that. The only thing I'll say is they had lost this game. He was still getting interviews. Yeah. So I don't think it necessarily would have changed anything. But right, I mean, the thing you have to guard against if you lose Bobby Slowick and you go back to the Shanahan coaching tree, the McVay coaching tree, is that Luke Getsy was from the McVay coaching tree. Just make sure you get the right one.
Hey, let me ask you this real quick, and then we'll move to the next game. But realistically, what is the ceiling for the Texans and how far they can go this postseason?
The 2021 Bengals. I mean, why can't they get to the Super Bowl?
Well, all right. So Houston as the 4 seed. So we have the. I'm doing a terrible job. I just completely blanked on the bracket.
Brenton, I already know what you're going to say. Here is what you want to know.
Bills likely beat the Steelers on Monday, right? That would mean that the Bills are hosting the Chiefs and the Texans are going to the Ravens for the divisional round.
Yes.
Which would mean that CJ Stroud has to beat Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, who like 5th all-time in DVOA for a single season, and then go on the road and beat either Josh Allen and the Bills or Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. So I think conference championship game is the full.
you beat the Ravens, you can get to the Super Bowl.
The hard part.
Dude, if they beat, look, the Browns game will be a footnote. If they slaughter the Browns, beat the Ravens, and then beat one of those two teams on the road to get the Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach, I mean, that's an all-time run.
Breach. Well, let's see. Breach, what was the 2021 run?
For what? The Bengals?
Yeah.
The second year of Joe Burrow, though.
Second year Joe Burrow.
Yeah, what was the playoff run? They had the home game. I don't even know who they. I'm asking.
They beat the
Raiders at home, and then
they beat the Titans.
They beat the number 1 seed Titans.
Oh, that's right. You went to that game.
Tennessee.
And then they beat
the obviously beat the Chiefs on the road, which is the scenario Brinson's presenting, except you have the Ravens in the middle instead of the Titans.
Okay.
You got to go to Kansas City and win. And I just feel like if they beat the Ravens, they would have the confidence that they can beat Kansas City or whoever they would face in the AFC title game. But one thing about the Texans, they have never won a road playoff game in franchise history.
That's crazy.
And then we're looking at the Texans are 0-4 all time in the divisional round. They are the only team in the NFL that has never made it to a conference title game. So no road playoff wins, 0 conference title appearances. CJ Stroud would be breaking new ground if he wins the divisional round because it'd be their first divisional win ever and first road playoff win.
Was the Letterman jacket that was regular season Monday night, right? When the Texans went to New England, that was it all. I mean, I love our colleague JJ Watt. I think he's actually like his Twitter account has somehow like gotten way better like in just the recent weeks. But that was one of the all-time eggs, and like to put on the Letterman jackets and go on the road to New England.
Worth noting, by the way, I mean, the Texans have been around for 21 years. Pretty check like they've been around as long as the Bengals.
Yeah, so Jacksonville hasn't been around that long. Carolina hasn't been around that
Panthers
long.
Panthers and the Jaguars went to a conference championship game in their second season in the same year.
Carolina's been to 2 Super Bowls. Like, just because you haven't been around that long doesn't mean you can't go to one road playoff game, Wilson? Is that too much to ask?
They were waiting for CJ Stroud. It all comes together.
Apparently. He's
going to the Texans, so that means that the Texans have more playoff wins against Andrew Gregory Dalton than they do road playoff wins.
Yep. You could bring that up and say that. Even JJ Watt tweeted about his pick 6 against the Bengals in 2011. And then the NFL's official Twitter account tweeted out the highlight. And I'm like, are we doing this during another playoff game? Can we just not talk about it? Yeah, come on, guys.
Did that happen on your birthday, by the way?
It did not happen on my sister's birthday. Fun fact.
Oh, that's a shame.
That is not fun for her.